What's up, people? Sorry, I actually did plan on doing this last night. I ended up just fucking dozing off, man. Like I was like literally about to like do it, and I think I just dozed off or something. So sorry. I'm doing it now, but I am back. So I got two videos technically planned today. Later tonight, if not for sure tomorrow, I'll try to do it early tomorrow if I don't do it tonight. But today, I got this video, Jingle All the Way, and then I'm gonna do best horror movies. I don't think it's gonna be 10 though. I couldn't because I the more I thought about it, I don't think I've even seen 10 horror movies. So it'll be like 7 or 8. I think I probably can do that. So that'll be tonight, and then I just put this on Instagram, but on Monday I'll be doing Gremlins 2. So I actually will be finally getting back to that. No, it seems a little bit off, but it didn't. I looked it up. It didn't seem like it was a Christmas movie like the first one, so that's why I didn't. That's why I decided to wait. But Jingle All the Way. I remember watching this movie as I was a youngin when I watched this one, and I always loved it. One, big reason was because Arnold was in it. You know, at that time, man, just anything Arnold in it, I fucking watched. You know, especially after like Terminator and stuff. So it was like anything Arnold was in, I just watched, and that's why I watched this. And they would always play this like on the movie channels when I was a kid, like basically every Christmas, and I watched it. I watched it too, well, because also I recognized the kid actor Jake Lloyd, because it's Anakin, and yeah, he's not good in this either. Like I accepted him when I was a kid, but yeah, when I rewatched this, like even like I think we watched this like 2 years ago, even I was like, yeah. No, but yeah. Well, we watched it last night. He doesn't hold up, but it's a fun movie. You know, it's a really goofy movie. The whole premise is just an overworked dad. You can even overlook like why does he have an accent, but his kid doesn't. Whatever, what this dad is an overworked dad. He's a mattress salesman. He constantly, I guess, breaks promises to his son. So he promises he's going to get his son a Turbo Man doll, which is like the hottest toy, right? So he does, and then it turns out they're almost all gone. So he has to basically do a bunch of hijinks. He runs to a crazy postman named Myron, which is played by Sinbad. And yeah, like played by Sinbad, and basically that's really the whole movie. It really is. It's just him trying to get the toy, and then it climaxes at this parade. So overall, I really love this movie. Yeah, it's not objectively good. It is very goofy. The premise is very out there. Um, and I love like how I love Phil Hartman in this movie as like the neighbor who's trying to constantly get with his wife. My only problem with this movie, I guess, a couple. One, and it is maybe I'll admit it is partially the way I look at things now. As a kid, even I never really I hated the whole overworked parent trope. Like, why I never understood. Like, I always kind of never got like, why are you mad that your mom or your dad are working hard? Okay, yeah, it sucks like they work all the time, but I never understood why that's seen as a bad thing. Like it's such a weird and maybe it's just because the way I look at things now, it does just seem like kind of weird morals. Like, why are you mad that your dad works all the time or your mom works all the time? Yeah, it sucks. I'm not saying it doesn't, but at the same time, I never got why that's seen as a bad thing. I mean, they're working hard so they can provide for the family. I don't know. I just don't really see that why that's a bad thing, but whatever. And that's just because how much that premise is overdone. So I gotta just turn that off for a little bit because as a movie, I still love it. Like it's a fun Christmas movie. I love the wackiness, the scene where Santa's fighting all the Santas, including the Big Show. Well, he was Paul White at the time. I think because he was still in WCW. But yeah, this was fun. It was hilarious. Arnold was clearly having fun with this role, and I think that's why I like this movie. It's like you can clearly tell they were all having fun. Yeah, Jake Lloyd's kind of an ungrateful little shit if you really think about it in this movie. Like if we're kind of thinking about it, and even when the moment he kind of realizes he's wrong, I don't even really feel like he really realizes it. Yeah. Besides that, I love this movie. I definitely try to watch it. Grant, I didn't watch last year, but like I try to watch it like at least every Christmas or most Christmases. It's just a fun one. And as a kid, I always loved it because the whole toy thing. You know, as a kid, I always loved toys. So it was always them basically just trying to get an action figure. I'm like, yeah, you're reaching to me. So yeah, I love this movie. Yeah, like I said, it's not objectively good. It is definitely not the best Christmas movie, but it's one of my favorites. So, um, but yeah, if I had to give this movie out of 10, like a seven, yeah, because like objectively, yeah, it's like probably a seven. But yeah, I thought Sinbad was great, even though he was a bit over the top at times. And like, don't be wrong, I don't necessarily disagree with some people who do criticize this movie, but you know, I try, like I said, it's definitely a turn your brain off kind of movie. You just kind of gotta accept the crazy premise, you know. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna try tonight. I mean, like I said, if I don't end up tonight, early tomorrow, I'll be doing my best horror movies of 2022, and I feel like there are some really good ones this year. That the ones that I've seen, so I do feel like there is good stuff here. Like I just, you know, like it's just I could think of a thought more bad movies than bad horror film, good horror films, just because these are the ones that I've seen. So I'll be doing that one later, but we're gonna get started here. So this is where we meet Howard. He's an overlooked overworked mattress salesman, and I love like the way he's introduced. Talking about like, how much everybody's his favorite customer, and then his wife calls him. To be honest, I didn't care for his wife either. She kind of felt like a non. She almost feels like a non-character. She's just there. You know, as a kid, I never felt like she really added to the movie. Besides, like basically just being the mom character. So Howard tries to make it to his son's karate tournament. Like even his assistant's telling him it's like 20 minutes. Howard's saying he'll make it, and then she even says she won't. And then yeah, he didn't make it, which it sucks. I do feel like it's a weird reason to be mad at your dad. Like I guess you could say it's more about the broken promises, which okay, but I don't know. I do feel like at some point, maybe it's just because I was a different fucking kid, but I don't know. But so yeah, he comes home. His son's mad at him. Oh, I should have talked about. I like the little opening where they show Turbo Man. It's definitely like a very much a Power Rangers parody because I think it's '96. It was like a year after the Power Rangers movie. So yeah, they did like the riff on Power Rangers, which is great. And that little Turbo Man intro was pretty funny. It was a good way to set up Turbo Man too. So Howard comes home and tries to basically make amends with his son. Asks him what he wants for Christmas, and that's when he said the Turbo Man doll, and then his wife mentions it, that, oh, did you already get it? And then basically Howard lied, said he did. So the next day, it's Christmas Eve. So he decides to go to the office basically to get the figure. He's basically going to go out and go get the figure. And this is basically where the hijinks start immediately, because when he gets to the store is closing. I will say this, though. This movie is almost more of a Black Friday movie than like a Christmas movie, because I've gone, I've been with people who've gone Christmas shopping, right? Or I've done it myself. And it's like, it's busy, but it is nowhere. It's not like a Black Friday. This movie is basically a Black Friday movie. Like, Like the whole crowd's trying to get in, especially that part where they try to get in the store. So yeah, they're let in, and it turns out all the Turbo Mans are gone, and you're just left with Booster, like that cat, which is just hilarious. That's like the riff throughout the thing that Booster sucks. And yeah, this is where we meet Myron, and yeah, their first interaction is pretty funny. Like he's trying to get the figures, and yeah, so turns out yeah, so we have to. This is basically the movie. Just they have to go to different locations and try to find the figure. Like that's really all this movie is. That's why I like it. Because it is simple. It's not like an overly convoluted story. There's not a lot going on. You do have like Ted, who is that's Phil Hartman's character, who basically that's all his thing is. I love how much kind of an asshole he is to, but like a nice asshole to Howard, and it's clear because he wants what's the wife's name? Liz, yeah. He just wants his wife, which is hilarious. And I know I'm jumping around, but probably one of my favorite funny scenes is when Arnold's calling his wife, but then fucking Ted picks her because he's making cookies. And yeah, because he wanted to give his wife a message, and then when he's like, "Put that cookie down now." One of the most iconic Arnold lines. That's not from Terminator. So yeah, he goes to the mall because they find a mall that has like supposedly the last batch of Turbo Mans, and this is where throughout the film Arnold interacts with this cop played by Robert Conrad. It is pretty funny. I actually think that's like probably the funniest stuff in the movie for me. It's not even necessarily his interactions with Myron or the crazy stuff that's going on. I love his little every time he runs into that specific cop, then it bumps into his bike, he bumps into him. It's fucking hilarious, yeah. I think Robert Conrad did his part very well too. Like I thought he was pretty funny. So they go to the store and they have to get these balls that basically it's like it's almost like because I learned about this year about like basically the original Star Wars figures didn't come out in time, so you had to get a voucher. So it's basically essentially the same thing. You got to get a voucher. So yeah, they had to get these balls, and you have like this battle, and then yeah, Arnold's trying to get it, and then yeah, he gets a kid finds it, and then obviously because they think Arnold's being like a creeper trying to get the kid. It's funny. And then he runs into a Santa who tells him that he can get him a Turbo Man. I'll say this too: the movie goes. It's not boring at all. Like once Howard leaves the house to go get the figure, the movie was going anyway, but it definitely like really goes at that point. So yeah, he goes with Santa, and it turns out that he finds this basically secret workshop of toys being made, but they're like knockoffs. Because they get the Turbo Man, and it's like in Spanish, and it's all broken apart. So he starts, and then yeah, he insults the Santas, and then yeah, the Santas start fighting him, and this is where we get the Big Show cameo. He was one of the Santas, and yeah, so yes, they start beating him up, but then the cops show up, and then Howard poses as a cop with a toy fucking license. I love it. Obviously, yeah, it's one of those things. You just gotta accept cops in this universe are kind of retarded, like horror cops are. You just gotta accept it. Like, yeah, they just somehow believe, like they somehow didn't notice that's a toy, but okay. So yeah, he leaves, and then I think this is the scene. Yeah, he goes to the diner because back at the Langston house, Ted's doing all the Christmas stuff, and there's clearly like a jealousy there. He even brings like a reindeer and all this and carolers. So yeah, he goes. Not him. I'm just gonna call him Jake. I'm not even gonna call him by his fucking name. Fuck him. Because I'll say this: not Jake Lloyd as an actor, just in this movie, he is a little shit. I'm gonna say it like. He's probably like my least favorite character in the whole movie. Like, you ungrateful little shit. Like, he is like the shit he didn't know what his dad's trying to do to get him toy. Literally, like his dad's like committing felonies for thinking about it. And you got this little shit just Max. Oh, you're not here. Yeah, you've been here all day. Wah. So I'll admit, I was kind of thinking this 2 years ago, but like I'm not gonna lie, whenever we watched this last night, it came out. I was like, you little fuck. So yeah, yeah. So Howard gets into an argument with his son because all Howard wanted was just to talk to his wife, but his son just kept whining and whining and whining, and then yeah, he basically tells him he's not a good dad. You know, you gotta have that moment in the movie. So Howard's in like this diner and he's starting to kind of feel bad for himself. And it seemed like him and Myron. That's actually probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie, where he talked about like how you know that he was a bad father and stuff, and then he like I guess realized that he starts then seeing his son, like yeah, his son as Myron. And that's when he's like, no, I can't, I gotta go. And then they learn of a radio thing that's gonna give a gift certificate. Basically, make it sound always they're gonna give a Turbo Man away. So they both run to the radio station. Basically, the question is, can you name all the reindeer? And they both go. And they start fighting in the radio station. But yeah, the radio guy turns out, it's just essentially it's the voucher to get the toy. It's fucking hilarious. But then, because Myron posed like he has a box full of bombs. So yeah, the cops show up, grab both of them, and yeah, this is where we run into Robert. Howard runs into Robert Conrad's character again. I'll definitely say that's like probably my favorite thing throughout the whole film. So Howard causes like a diversion and basically says, "Yeah, that man has a bomb," and that's what Myron does. And it actually turns out that one of the packages did have a bomb because it blew up. It's like, god damn, man. But yeah, so Howard returns home, sees Ted putting on the light for the star for the Christmas tree, and he gets really mad. So he decides, you know what? He remembered because how Ted mentioned that his son has a Turbo Man, so he just thinks about stealing it. Then kind of realized, you know what? Yeah, this is fucked up. So he goes back in, but then the reindeer, which I love the sound effect, is basically it does one of the snarl sounds from the T-Rex from JP. Like, I can hear it. Granted, I know that's like an actual animal sound, but it's just hilarious. So yeah, reindeer causes ruckus. He ends up accidentally burning something, and then in Ted's house, which flies out the window, and they all know it's Howard. And yeah, you get the moment where his wife kind of tells off Howard, and they decide to go to the parade without him. And I'll admit, I didn't like this scene. It's like she even the way when she asked, "Oh, Ted, can he drive us?" I was like, "That is fucking petty," because it's like he doesn't like him. So I'm just gonna like, I don't know, man. I kind of think Howard's family are kind of shit people. I do. I just do. I'm just gonna say it. But yeah, obviously this is the moment where they try to have it like Howard realizes he's wrong. Like, I get it. You know, he's overworked and maybe he has missed a couple family stuff. I don't know why I don't see him as a bad guy because of that. You know, like, I don't know. I just think I never understood that subplot really in any movie. Like, why it's seen as a bad thing because you work a bit too much. Oh no. But when Ted gets to the event, yeah, he tries to hit on Liz. Arnold arrives and he sees them together and he like obviously thinks he's cheating and he's about to confront Ted, but then he accidentally like bumps Robert Conrad and then we get a chase between those two. And then yeah, he runs into this building and he accidentally gets confused for the guy playing Turbo Man. And yeah, he basically gets put in this Turbo Man suit, which I'll admit the Turbo Man suit looked really good. You know? So yeah, Liz basically knocks off Ted off her, and she goes with her son. Then yeah, so the parade goes like without a hitch. Arnold gets the toy and basically has to pick a kid. He ends up Jamie. That's the kid's name. It just came back to me. Jamie. He picks Jamie, his son, and gives the kid the toy. And then, but Myron, like I said, this is one of those movies you gotta accept it. Like, nah, obviously at this point he probably would just accept it. No, he doesn't. He steals the bad guy's suit and shows up just to get a toy for his son. I love it. That's like I love how out there the premise is. Yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense when you think about it, but it's one of those things you just kind of accept it. It's like Karate Kid in Cobra Kai, or where you just can accept that people just solve everything with karate. It's that type of thing. Like this world, you know, it's just a goofy Christmas movie. So I'm gonna turn off my brain. I'm not gonna really overanalyze it. Yeah, none of this really makes sense. I don't think no real parent would actually, at least not to this length, committing like basically felonies, attacking cops just to get a toy. But you know, it's one of those things. It's like you just kind of accept it. Just that in this world this happens. So Arnold gives the kid the toy like to hide it, and then Jamie runs away. We get a chase between Jamie and Myron, while like those little things that are with the bad guy that you saw earlier in that opening attack Turbo Man, and then people mentioned, Turbo Man, you have jets, and yeah, he has an actual working jet. We just kind of not jet, the jetpack. That's what I meant to say. Like we just kind of excessive. It's another one of those things we just kind of accept with this movie. Yeah, they just gave him an actual working fucking jetpack that you can actually fly around it. But we just accept it. So yeah, he ends up saving Jamie. The cops get back the figure from Myron, and then and then this is the part of that element that kind of bothered me. How the fuck did Jamie not realize that was his dad? I'm like, do you not hear the accent? Like, are you not hearing the accent? Like, even throughout the way he's talking, like, I can hear Arnold. But anyway, it's whatever. It's not like it brings down the movie. It's just a little like, how the fuck do you not notice that's your dad? But yeah, so it's revealed to be his dad. Sorry about that. It's revealed to be Howard. At this point, because Myron's being taken away, and he decides, you know what, I'm gonna give the Turbo Man figure to Myron. That's the only thing I don't really like. I think the ending makes no sense. Like, why would you? He tried to kill you. Same thing. Like, why would Howard forgive that guy? He tried to essentially kill his son for a toy. But anyway, it's a Christmas movie. You just accept it, you know. So, all is forgiven. You get a little gag in the end that it's implied that Arnold forgot to get a gift for his wife, and he gives this look, and she asks like what he's getting her, and he like gives this look, which is perfect. So overall, I love this movie. It's a fun Christmas movie. Yeah, there are a lot of things don't make sense in it, and a lot of things this wouldn't happen, but you just accept it. Like you accept that this fucking event legit gave Arnold a legit jetpack that actually works, that you can fly around it. That's like military grade almost. When it's just flying like that willy nilly, and we just accept it. It's one of those things. Like this is that type of movie where you can just kind of accept shit like this happening and just not question it. So all around, I love it. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies. There's little things in it that kind are like, especially fucking Jamie. I'm sorry, he's a little shit. I'm sorry, he's an ungrateful little shit. I can't not say it. But besides that, I overall love this movie. I love Sinbad in this. I love how over the top he is. I love how over the top everything is. In this movie, like you just kind of, like I said, you just accept it. But yeah, this happens. like this one you can just kind of put on your brain off and just kind of laugh at the the funny hijinks. That's really all you can really say with this one. Like, yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, this isn't like top 10 Arnold, right? This isn't like, one of his most iconic films or roles, but it's a fun movie. Like, I really love how much fun you could tell Arnold was having in this movie. Just through every scene, he's letting himself be goofy. Like, I can respect that about Arnold, because this was 96, so this was still somewhat, I would still say, prime Arnold, So the fact that he lets himself be put in hijinks like this, I can respect. So that's why I love this movie. Like, it knows what it is. That's really all I can say. So 7 out of 10. I definitely I will try to put this on. I'm probably gonna put this on next Christmas too. It's just a fun Christmas movie. That's really all I can say. So later tonight, I'm gonna try to make sure I do it tonight. But if not, I'll do it early tomorrow. Top horror movies of 2022. Because I think there have been some really good horror this year. Obviously, none of it's IP horror, like based off an IP, which sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, there's been some good horror this year, so can't wait to talk about that. But I definitely recommend Jingle all the way, especially if you just, like I said, though, going in, you just gotta accept this kind of shit is happening, and you just gotta accept it. You can't overanalyze it and be like, because obviously, yeah, you rip this movie apart. It's not objectively good, if I'm gonna be honest. But it's I love it. I subjectively love it. So, but as usual, I'm gonna take one more hit, and then I'm gonna talk to y'all later. As usual, Joe Biden. I'll talk to y'all later tonight. Peace.